right? We're ready to win from
They're
their
ready to win.
position.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's more about Brock. I don't think they've changed. Everybody's read into this. They've changed their thoughts on Trey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they've changed their thoughts on Trey. I just think that there's a little heat from maybe from above,
Mm-hmm.
maybe from their timeline, maybe from their window, that they feel like they got to get it done, and they're prioritizing Brock over Trey because Brock fits their timeline
Right.
over Trey. Brock's ready to play right now. You said you would go with Trey. If so, would you lose this? If you really think that you wouldn't, that you need to lose, or that you would lose
Mm-hmm.
if you went with Trey, and you'd still go with Trey, you would
Yeah.
give up the season to. I'm not saying that, but if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think,
Yeah. Me.
because I'm not saying that I personally don't think they would lose with Trey, but I don't think they would score 35 a game though.
No.
I think they would score less points. They'd have to rely on their defense. But you could make an argument that developing Trey might be in their best long-term interest.
I mean,
But
we're
they're
already losing,
choosing their
Larry.
short-term interest over long-term interest. But you're saying that you would lose this year and maybe give away this year to develop Trey?
We're already losing, Larry. We're already losing. Like I that's the thing. I feel like, that's the question. There's a lot of fans who they love the fact that we're in the conversation, right? But
When
the
you
way
say
I
we're
see
already losing, what do you mean? Because they did make it to the conference championship.
and we lost.
Okay, but I mean, only 4 teams make it to the Final Four, and Purdy technically has yet to lose a regular season game. But
Mm-hmm.
you would say, you know what? The heck with that. The priority is not winning the Super Bowl this year. The priority is developing Trey Lance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should have did it a long time ago. And it's going to keep getting worse. I know it sounds crazy now with this type of season.
Well, no, I don't think it sounds crazy. I just think it's a matter of priorities.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
some people won't take a step back so they can take 5 steps forward.
Yeah,
Other people look at it as the 5 step forward is speculative and don't from the bird in hand.
Yeah, I mean, for me, look at the 2020 season, 2021 season. Those seasons, Trey could have been developing. He could have been on the field.
It's too bad not to interrupt you, Coach, but it's too bad that Trey could not have been drafted in year 1 of the regime, because 17. I think things would have come together seamlessly if Trey was able to grow while the Niners were building the rest of the deal. The timing here is a little off.
It's off. It's askew. It is. And I agree with that. If Trey would have came in 17 with Kyle, the rest is history. But for me, losing is losing as far as I'm concerned. Like, if you don't win the Super Bowl, you are a loser. You didn't win, right? You may have had a good season.
That's a really high standard.
But the reason why standards are there, Larry, is because you have to keep them. You can't move. You can't have a sliding goalpost. You can't have a sliding scale, rather, right? I feel like we're moving the goalpost. If we have a standard, which is winning a Super Bowl, and we know that what we're doing is keeping us away from doing getting our goal, then why don't we exhaust all of the possibilities that we have inside of our building? And I feel like one of the biggest possibilities that hasn't been exhausted is the 3 first-round picks that we spent on our quarterback. If look at it this way, what's gonna suck is when the window closes and we're still gonna have to develop a quarterback anyway. That's what's gonna suck, right? Is that when the window inevitably closes because nobody's window stays open, and honestly, the league controls what our window is, not us, right? We think that we have control over our window. That's not the way it works. The way it works is that we put together what we need to in-house, and then we push it out to the rest of the league, and then competitively we see how far away we are from everybody else, and that is our window. But We got it mixed up. We think that we can control our window with the players that we bring on. It doesn't work that way. It's almost like, Deebo Samuel is only Deebo Samuel until he gets old enough and he's not Deebo Samuel anymore, right? We keep talking about paying for these players and we need to keep this window open. Trent Williams isn't going to be Trent Williams forever. That's not a bad thing to say. That's a real thing to say, right? And if I'm looking at our window, I don't look at our window as a window of winning a Super Bowl. I look at it as we need to start using that window to find our quarterback. Like, it would be a shame for us to push all of this talent and all of this development that we have to brute force and go get a Super Bowl and be the Rams. And like, just everything falls off once we win. It's like, nah, let's use the window to actually find our guy. That's how I feel.
What do you think? What do you think of Callie Young here? He says, "Good luck telling Trent that we're prioritizing development over competing for a championship this year."
I can answer that question very easily.
Yeah,
Trent, you got paid. Show up to work. This is the NFL, man. I feel like we do a little bit too much capitulating to the guys that already got paid. You got your money, man. See you at work. See you at work, man. You got your money. I expect to see you there.
I mean, it's a hard line. It's a hard line approach.
It's not a hard line, Larry. How can
I look at it this way.
You're going to give me the money back? You're going to give me the money back?
No. I mean, you're basically saying to him, hey, look, we've got a young quarterback that we think in a year or two could be really, really good. And we're going to prioritize that over trying to win a championship in what could be your final year in the NFL.
Right.
And you want him to be cool with that. And maybe he would be. Trent's actually.
Hold on. We're not asking him to be cool with it. I'm not asking you to like it, but you're going to understand it. You played in Washington your whole career. You know what it's like to lose.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
It's interesting. It's an interesting perspective. I'll say this. This is what I see with Brock more than anything. I just see a guy who's ready to operate Kyle's offense and can make some plays off schedule and can extend some plays. And it's like, what is it going to take to beat? Let's talk about Mahomes in Kansas City. What's it going to take to beat Mahomes in Kansas City? I think it's going to take a really strong defense, which they have.
Right.
And it's going to be you got to be able to score in the 30s. And that's the only thing that I really feel like Brock can do right now better than the other guys.
Can I add
consistency? Yeah.
And we're going to have to get something from the offense that Kyle has nothing to do with. We're going to have to, because that's
off schedule.
That's the part about the game
that was the Jimmy frustration is
yes,
all Kyle.
Thank you, Larry. That was the part about Jimmy that frustrated us all, is that once he got off script and he had to start improvising, he could never find his line. He could never show something off script. He could never give us something outside of the offense. And to be quite frank with you, that is almost like our audible package. That is more needed in this offense. I could argue that that's more needed in this offense than it is in any other offense across the league, because we are so stringent. We are so beholden to shifts and motions, and the ball needs to go exactly where it needs to go. We got to give them something different. And if we ain't going to call audibles, excuse me, Larry, but if we ain't going to call audibles and give the offense to the quarterback where he can contemporaneously make calls during the game that he sees, if we can't do that, then our best chance is off script. That's our best chance at that. And if we don't give teams something more than what comes on the play sheet, we're going to get found out. 60 minutes is way too long to stay on script.
Oh, there's no question. You have to. You can have the greatest play design, but you have to have the ability when it all breaks down for the quarterback to make plays and to extend plays. As Greg Cosell used to say, late in the down, you got to make something happen. But I kind of think Purdy